Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
My name is Nino.
And I'm Lulu.
And this is Thriving at Love and Relationships. All right. So, this video is about how we met part 2, aka how we met the lie, aka how we met the fabricated version. So my wife is going to be telling you guys.
You see, I love how you ended with the lie, and then your next statement was my wife. So you are saying in essence that you married a liar.
Hi, women.
No. But that's what you are saying. No. You said this is the lie, and my wife is about to tell you the lie. So that means you married a liar, and you know that people attract their kind.
People do.
So if I'm telling a lie and I'm a liar, what does that make?
What I believe
person
is
I
that
married.
people do bad things doesn't make them bad people.
Oh,
So I feel that because you lie once does not make you a liar.
mother.
Doesn't make you a liar. So at this point, I know you're about to lie, but you're not a liar. You're a very truthful person, in fact. But anyways, she's going to be talking about how we met, from her own version, from her own reality, from how she saw
Thank you for your introduction. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your introduction, sir.
All right,
so, guys,
let's go. So,
I'm about to show you guys the lights on this issue. I don't like how you're looking at me. I'm about to bring you in on the truth about how we met.
all right.
Great. So one thing we can both agree on is when we met, the scene at which we met, the date at the time of when we met. Those are the only 4 elements that are consistent in the 2 stories.
Like earth, wind, fire. It's an element.
Allow me to tell my story, please.
Periodic table. Which one is element?
I'm a Shakespearean student. I have to
speak better English. Let them understand you.
The story, like. So how we met? I mean, like I've said, his version of we met at a what's it called now? Yard sale is actually correct and true. But from the point where he started talking about when I came over to meet him, lies, delete it, forget it, and listen to the truth. I'm the one who's gonna say it. Okay. So he had come in. He had said that, in fact, there's no point saying what he said. The fact is that he came in with a group of friends, and I had noticed that, this group of people came in, and then for me, he had stood out in the group because the other people were like your normal, buff, tall. Not that he's not buff or tall, but there are people that will get your attention, like this. But he was just like this mellow, quiet guy in the pack of guys. And I noticed him. So I noticed him, and I just kept on working because I was serious at what I was doing. I was actually working. And then the next day, I realized that he had come back, and he was the only guy that came back the next day. I remember what he was doing. He was wearing a red Arsenal jersey.
I wanted to support my friends.
Supporters club.
And 3 days did I support her.
Ask him why. You know that in his video he had said that normally he wouldn't come for things like this. So imagine that kind of person now coming for day 1, day 2. She did not make you come.
I support friends. It was because of a pop-up I came for 3 days.
You had your time to speak. Allow me.
Like after you were entering the whole.
So as I was saying, he now told her that, I noticed this beautiful girl in the background.
Were you there?
It doesn't matter.
Actually.
And Jay told me.
And me, because we were both in the conversation.
Excuse me.
See, I told you to start lying.
So Jay now called me.
That's
how I leave this video for you now.
She was not in the conversation.
You're making
and she's telling you guys what we said in the conversation. Jesus. Anyways, continue.
No, I'm not. Since you're a mind reader, you must say what is on my mind.
Not continuing because she knows that my version is.
No, because she keep interrupting with lies.
No, you must not continue.
So as I was saying, I'm obedient. You told me to continue. I will continue. So Jen had invited me over to where they were sitting. She was like, "Oh, this is my friend, and he would like to meet you." Yada yada yada. And then, truth be told, he had started with his, oh, I'd like to know what's your name, can I get your number, blah, blah, blah,
before that, what God had told you.
And then,
she had prayed.
And then, I now said, truthfully, any friends of Jane,
I was the help.
Any friend of Jane is my friend, right? And that was really because to be honest, I didn't want to give him my number, and I didn't want to seem rude because this was my employer's friend, you know.
She said my employer.
Jane was my employer at the time now. So I didn't want to seem rude. I was like, any friend of Jane, blah blah blah, and I didn't even put my mind on it. And then the next day, he had now called, and in his mind, it was not telling me that he wanted to be manipulative. Guys, please, if you like a girl, just go straight to it. Girls, if you like a guy, just go straight. Don't be like some people. You know, if you like somebody, why are you playing mind games? But anyway, we started talking. And
my mouth has been open for the past 10 seconds.
You will close it, don't worry. And truthfully though, just before I had met him I think it was in maybe January or February, I was going through a period of depression because I had been all around the world and I was just feeling empty, like there has to be more to life than this. And so I had remembered a prayer, I prayed to God, and I said to God that, God, send me a friend who would help me in this period. And I didn't know he was the friend though, till I knew he was a friend. I knew he was a friend. So he had introduced me to Cornerstone, helped my spiritual life, all of that.
Sorry. If you remember my video, I said God had told me I was going to help somebody's life. And then meeting her.
In what way did you help my life? In what ways did you help my life?
I mean, it'd be proud of me to say I helped your life in this, but I'm sure it's evident. You can say, no, sir, I helped my life. I'm not going to come and start tooting my own horn. God is my witness.
As I was saying. So we started talking and we hit it off immediately. No lies there. We became very good friends. You know, even though I had other plans for this person that God has sent to me because I had other plans why he wanted to be God sent into my life.
And I kept pushing her. You guys have played what's that game? Whack-a-mole. I to man the thing back inside the friend zone. She will pop out again. I will not come back in the friend zone.
But anyway, we started hitting it off as more than friends. And then he now comes and says, I'm in a relationship. Of which, when we had met initially, he told me that he was on a break. And at that break, he did not give me the impression that they were going to come back together. He was on a break, yes. But he did not give me the impression that they were going to come back together. So I felt like, oh wow, this guy, I've seen this guy, we're going to get into a relationship. And then weeks from then, when we started talking, he now comes and tells me, I remember it was on a Monday. He came and told me, oh, my girlfriend and I were in counseling, we're trying to work things out. I'm like, oh, she will, like, I don't understand. What nonsense is that? What nonsense is that?
Man that I was, because normally some guys would play both sides, have a girlfriend and have someone.
Nobody's. And
my girlfriend at the time was outside the country.
No, sir, you're stressing me out.
To see that I was honest with her.
You're stressing me out. Can you allow me tell my story? Thank you. So he now came and said that he and his girlfriend are trying to work things out. And that was actually a very annoying thing because you gave me the impression that, oh, I'm for you, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah blah blah. And so after he said that, I just cancelled it.
I came into her life to help her. She said I gave her the impression I was
boyfriend, everything. I just cancelled him.
I never gave you the impression that I was the man for you. I came strictly for help.
You will tell the story by yourself.
She literally said, God, I need help, and God sent me. And then she wanted to turn let me tell you people something. Sometimes,
because I found out the help that God sent to me was the kind of guy I'm interested in.
The problem with some people is that you people are always dating people that are meant to be your friends. God will send a lady into your life to be friends, or someone will send a guy into your life to be friends, and you want to date. You are a serial dater. That's what she wanted to do. And
so I was just, calling me a serial dater?
No, you're not a serial dater. I'm saying, but at that point in time, I wanted to be her friend, but she wanted to be more than friends. She would have started that relationship. I will not be here today. But if not for my willpower.
Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. So I cancelled him out and we stopped talking. And then I realized that some months after, this guy now came into my life again.
I didn't come into
and
your
started
life.
talking with me.
You opened the door for me to enter.
Started talking to me. It was during COVID. I remember. He started texting me more often. Started chatting with me more often. Even before then, even though I had cancelled him, we were still talking once. And I remember one specific occasion. I had gone out with some guys, you know, and he was asking me, where were you last night? I was like, well, I went out with some guy, blah, blah. And I realized that he became upset about it. I was like, why is this one getting upset? It was not later, when we were not saying dating, that he now told me that during that time he was close marking me because he knew that eventually he was going to end up with me. But he was close marking me, making sure that he was still in my life, making sure that he was the only friend, he was watching out for either a boyfriend or not.
So what I would say is that, remember I said...
No, in fact, I don't even want you to comment on it, dear.
Don't worry. No, I'm saying...
As I was saying in my story, guys...
What you're saying is the truth now, because I had said that God told me that that you needed to be in my life. So that's the reason why, even when you cut me off, because I told you the truth about my dating predicament, I still made sure that I stayed close because God had just told me that this person needs to be in your life, you know. I didn't know in what capacity at the time God had told me. I didn't know in what capacity at the time when God had told me that, but my own was just to close mark and just to make sure that, okay, I'm in her life and all that. So yes, I agree that I was close marking her.
Thank you for your interjection. But he was close marking me because he was interested in me in all ways. That's his business. So as I was saying, so later on, she started talking again during COVID, and I noticed that this guy started calling me more often, started chatting with me more often. Sometimes he would just send me random text messages during the day, maybe about something that he has seen or he wants to gist about. I'm like, nigga, I don't talk that way. Like, if you want to be my friend, be my friend. Come with your chest and be my friend. But he wasn't going to do that. He wanted to be sneaking. It was now, so we started talking, and then one day I was just like, you know what, bros, what are we doing? Are you here for a relationship? Are you here for friendship? Because I like to be settled. And this is another thing, girls.
Did you say you had feelings for me? Did you say there was feelings?
Wait.
The reason why you asked that question because you were having feelings.
Exactly. And I didn't want to start something that will not end up being nothing. So I had to ask that question, and this is something that I know that guys do. If you give guys the room, well, let me not say guys, let me not generalize, but if you give most guys the room, they will just be doing, let's see where it leads, let's continue. True. And my sisters, please speak up and ask him, what are you here for? Are you here for marriage? And be bold enough to ask, because sometimes girls feel like if they ask those questions, they feel like maybe they are gold diggers, or maybe they are being too forward. No, but also, it's your life.
There's wisdom when you ask the question. If he meets you the first day, you can't just say, what are you?
Of course not.
If he has spoken to you for maybe a couple of weeks, he's getting to a month, and he keeps texting, he keeps calling, and he has not declared his intention, it's okay to ask that, okay, we've been talking, we've been hanging, we've been talking. What are we doing? There's no harm in asking. I think most times some people are also afraid to ask that question because maybe they feel like the guy will disappear. But if he disappears, then it's not serious.
Exactly. He shouldn't be there.
I'm a guy, always put us under that. Yes. Put us in the box and say, come, are you here to be a friend? And if you are going to be a friend, keep the person a friend. Once a guy tells you, let's see where he's going.
Run.
Just pack your whatever.
Because he's also seeing how he goes with another girl and another girl.
Except he just wants to be your friend, because there's nothing wrong saying, okay, I'm just trying to get to know you. And I mean, after he's getting to know you, after to get to know me to what end? To be a friend, or to be a partner, or to be in a relationship. Just let it be clear.
Yeah.
So but the reason why I had not said anything is because I was heartbroken at January, and you asked the question in June. And as much as as much as
January and June,
and some people get over heartbreaks in shorter periods and all that. So for me, I was being cautious because I mean it was 3 years and I was heartbroken. I didn't just want to jump into something, even though I will admit, of course, I had feelings for her. That's why I was calling and all that. But I still needed a clear, because I told God that was my last bus stop. I was not doing it again after. The next person,
I remember that,
is not my wife. I'm a street take over.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. Yeah, and even for me too, because I had left a relationship and I had told God I didn't want to date at all, even if Dana became something else. But I also was ready to get into a relationship to get married, not to just boyfriend and girlfriend eternity kind of thing. So that was when we now said, you know what, let's pray about this, even though we already started having feelings. So it was let's pray about this, let's even know where we're going to.
But for me, God had said help her life, and make sure you are in her life. So then I went back to God and said, okay, God, she's in my life. I really want to know the plan for her purpose in my life. Is she just going to be a friend because I'm catching feelings for her? Or, is she going to be my wife? And I asked him, should I pursue? Should I overtake?
Will I recover?
And God said, my son pursue, my son overtake. And then I recovered all.
I'm shaking my head.
So that is how it happened, and then we started.
We prayed about it, and I think we prayed for a week or so.
Yeah, prayed for
and then we now came back, and then we both said our findings of our prayer, even though we already knew.
Our findings. Did you do an experiment? Which one is findings?
The answers are our prayers. The answers are our prayers, right? So he said his own, I said my own, and then we knew that, okay, so this was what's going to happen. So did we start dating immediately? Because, we started dating immediately, but we didn't make it public. We were still trying to be,
between ourselves.
Yeah,
but because she had frequented my house while we were friends, and my say, this girl, are you dating her? This and that. Are we just trying to hide your? So we're not ready to tell anybody. But I think in like a couple of weeks, couple of months,
it was so obvious.
It was so obvious. So I told my siblings, told everyone, told our mentors, people we submit to, and we made it official.
Yeah, so that was how we met. And so the things I had looked out for.
Yeah, so what were you looking out for in a guy?
So
I know you got everything. But just tell the audience.
Proud much. So I'm sorry, sisters in Christ. Yes, I looked out for somebody that was spiritual.
They are not in Christ.
Now I'm getting somewhere with that. I was looking out for somebody who was spiritual because I didn't want, because I'd heard a lot of stories about how the woman is the prayer warrior of the house. Meanwhile, the man is just there chilling.
But wait, there's something I want to ask. We use this word a lot, spiritual. The person was a Christian. Were you looking for a Christian, a spiritual person, or someone who was also God-fearing? Because I've noticed that a lot of people that are spiritual are not God-fearing. They can speak in tongues. They can do all those things. They can quote scripture, but they are not God-fearing. Because
I was looking for someone that had a relationship with God.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay. I was looking for God-fearing. To add to that, not just spiritual. Someone who actually feared God.
Okay. I was looking for somebody who was interested in God and not just the matters of God, but really wanted to have a relationship with God. And he ticked that box. I was also looking for physical attraction. I'm not going to lie. Tall, dark, sweet looking,
I'm going to say much about
that. So I was very particular about it. I was not about to marry somebody who was short or somebody who is fair.
She was smitten.
No, it was dark, tall, and handsome, and I got it.
She's still smitten.
And I was looking for somebody who I was sexually attracted to. Yep. And that's what I'm getting to with the sisters in the Lord. This was one thing that was on my list.
I had to put her in the friend zone, lock the gate, throw away the key.
See, people,
because
let me not let
me go.
I'm looking. So wait now. Let me tell my story. So I'm not saying that you should go and start doing experiments before you marry. But it was something I had prayed to God about, that when I get married, I want somebody that's our sex life, Jesus is Lord, that you will carry me up, you will throw me down, take me sideways, take me left, lift me up, hang me there. I was looking for it, and I'm not even going to pretend and be like, I just wanted to pray. I was looking for a praying man. No, I'm looking for a man that will maybe it's okay and bring me down.
All right.
Yeah. I was looking for that sexually.
Do I take you up and bring you down?
Oh, baby.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that here.
What's your problem? Be serious. So, yes, sexually, I was looking for that as well. I was looking for somebody who was also very focused and knew where he was going to, because the guys I had dated in the past, no shade to them, but yeah, I was looking for somebody who was driven and who knew where he was going to, even if he did not have a lot of money, but was comfortable enough, at least have a car. Just have a car. Because I had done relationships where we'll be jumping bus, entering Okada. And it's okay if that's where you are. It's actually okay, But for me personally,
you were just not looking for that.
I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for comfort. Yes.
And it was not so.
Yeah.
So so that guys don't feel anyhow. I mean, if at your point in time you don't have a car and you are jumping bus, jump it with pride and dignity.
Exactly. Because
however, you also need to don't now insult the girls that don't want to date guys that are jumping bus. Just find people that are okay, because
to jump bus,
everybody has. Imagine someone that maybe the lady was raised with all the luxuries of life, car and everything, and you want her to now come and jump bust you because you are just no. Some ladies, I always say that if you're coming into a lady's life, the minimum standard they are allowed to maintain is what her father is doing for her. You can only take her up. You don't bring her below. So most ladies are actually looking for guys that are on a certain level and upwards, and it's fine. You as a guy, you might not find somebody that does not, or who you are looking for might not necessarily fit the picture you have in your head because of where you are in life. Ladies always look for guys that can take care of her and take care of the needs like their fathers do. And for her, she was looking for someone who had.
Why are you running commentary on my own
I'm trying to explain now so the guys don't feel like as if.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you know, guys, I got your back. I didn't always have a car. You know, so.
Anyway, he had a car when I met him, and he knew if there's anything that's admirable about Nosa is that he knows where he's going to. He's always, this is the next step, this is it. So that was it for me.
Did you know where you were going to when I first met you?
I was lost.
Do you know where you're going to now?
So you're mine now, girl.
Is that what? Can you see that's one way I helped your life?
I had an idea as to where I was going to. I was just distracted by life, by life's frivolities.
And we did plans for her life. She had no,
sir, don't say it like that. No, sir, if there is anything that you knew about me was that when I'm certain about something, I'm certain. Or however, I might not know the next step.
Were you certain at the time we met?
About what I wanted to do? Yes, I knew I wanted to do fashion. I knew I wanted to do that at
Are you
least.
doing fashion now?
Because God has other plans for me, and I work part-time with God's plan for me. Yes.
Okay, so where
for you, Musa has 10 years plan, 20 years plan, beautiful. I mean, I'm more of, where is God leading me at this time? That's where I am, and that's what I'm planning with. But now I'm learning how to have like 5 years plan,
10 years plan.
Have to look, but
that doesn't mean a near future type person. She wasn't a
whatever.
But we thank
Can I speak of some flaws?
Yeah, sure. I don't hide my flaws.
Musa was so cutthroat. Like, if it's not like this, what are you doing? Like, and it was very choking. Very blunt. Because it's not a very blunt thing. Is that you don't give room for flexibility, or rather, you didn't used to give room for flexibility. It was always this way or the highway or no way. And for somebody like me who is spontaneous,
very
or who
fluid,
is more spontaneous and
flexible.
fluid with plans, it was too so that was one. And then another one was there was this expectation of perfection that you expected from me, even though you didn't know it at the time, but it was always perfection. Like he didn't used to grant me what's that word for? Is it forbearance?
I'll say that I didn't leave any room for error.
Yes. So when I make a mistake, it's like coming down on me with the hammer. That was always it, and it was at a point it was a bit unbearable. But so we had to have a conversation that, guy, human beings are going to disappoint or they are going to fall short. And it doesn't mean that they are less off. You know, even you too. He had to actually give himself room to make errors. Yes, it was always, how can I do this type of thing? I should know better.
Excellence, because excellence is key. I mean, I'm still that way, but now he's more lenient with himself and lenient with other people as well. So what other thing? I think one of my flaws that maybe I was a little bit too handsome. I heard that as a fear.
I'll show you after this video. I think he was also too serious with life.
Is that
it was too serious. Too serious.
In my life.
Yeah. But now, like I say, I bring the fun in his life.
Yeah, I was very, I didn't know how to have fun.
Yeah. So I taught him fun. Wink.
Yeah. I agree.
Alrighty, so you guys have heard it. This is the truth about how we met. Thank you so much. If you watched the first video, you would know that there was a lot of fallacy, a lot of lies in the first video. And this video, we've been able to debunk some myths and reveal the truth to you guys about how we met.
The reason I'm not even
Thank you guys.
The reason I'm not talking about, all I want you guys to see is that I helped their life. That's all I wanted us to point out.
Oh, my helper. Hey! Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and stay tuned.
Stay tuned for the next video. We'll be talking about...
No, look at them!
All right.
Come back for the next video.
Bye. Bye.